Hello, everyone. Welcome to Technica.
Hello, hello. Wow, thank you all so much for coming to Technica. Please make some noise if you're ready to party. That was very mid. Can we please try one more time? Make some noise if you're ready to party. Woo! All right, I can already tell it's gonna be a great weekend. Y'all are matching my energy. Jules and I are so excited to be the first to welcome you to Technica 2022, and we're so excited to kick off our opening ceremony.
Awesome. Before we get started, we just want to acknowledge that we are on the ancestral land of the Piscataway people. So we acknowledge their history and how that's built up to where we work, live, and learn today. All right, well, you may be thinking, who are these people on stage? My name is Jules Parra. I'm one of the co-executive directors of Technica. My pronouns are they, them, and I'm a senior business information systems student here at UMD.
And my name is Jen. My pronouns are she, her. I'm a senior computer science major, and I'm the other co-executive director this year. So before we introduce our amazing keynote, Jules and I want to take a few minutes to talk about our journey with Technica, and then a couple minutes to talk about our mission. So my first Technica was when I was a freshman in college. At the time, I was about halfway through my first Intro to CS class, and before that, I had never written a single line of code in my life. So you might be like, Jen, why were you a CS major then? Well, I have an older brother, and in true younger sister fashion, I had to prove that I could do everything that he could do. So I chose this major on a whim and just hoped and prayed it was going to work out. At the beginning, it was a little bit rocky. I remember during one of my first midterms, I walked out right in the middle. I was like, I can't do it. I'm done. This is not the major for me. But after that, in a couple weeks, it was time for Technica. I was like, okay, I'll go. I'll check it out. Maybe it will be fun. And sure enough, it was an absolute blast. I coded a project. It was a bagel personality quiz with two of my closest friends. And to this day, it's one of my core memories of college. And just being there at Technica in that supportive environment really made me feel like, okay, there's so much more to technology than what you learn in the classroom. And with a little bit of persistence, I definitely can find a path in tech. And yeah, that's why Technica is so special to me. Jules, do you want to talk a little bit about your journey?
Sure, thanks, Jen. My Technica journey started a little bit earlier. My actually first Technica was in 2017. So I was a junior in high school, and I was fortunate enough to have an IT program at my high school. Shout out to any Wootton or Montgomery County folks. Yeah, I see some waving. So I took a Java class my freshman year. I was like, this is cool, I can do this. And then I really fell in love with my web development class sophomore year. And then that summer, I went to Girls Who Code, even explored more things. And then I went to Technica with Girls Who Code friends. And that experience was really just amazing for me because in my IT program, I was one of 6 non-men, which is pretty typical of a CS class nowadays. But I came walking into Technica, I was like, this energy is just totally switched for me. And I just saw everyone being so supportive of each other, just building a community, wanting to make friends, and seeing what else was out there within tech. So I built a website that was focused on educating parents on opportunities for kids with disabilities. I built one JavaScript component. I was like, wow, this is so cool. Look at me. And that really just changed my trajectory since then. Awesome. So going into Technica 2022, we wanted to talk a little bit about our theme for this year. Our theme is Reach New Heights. You might have noticed that from some of our decor. But really the meaning of this theme is to try new things, be curious, and we want that to lead your journey throughout Technica this weekend and afterwards. So Jen and I are going to give a couple tips on how you can really embrace this theme this weekend. And for me, I would say just try something new. So if you're doing a hack, I would look into a programming language you want to delve further in or learn more about, or new technology that you just haven't experimented with. Or for our hacks, you could participate in a challenge with a company that you've never heard about and want to learn more about. So really just let your curiosity drive your weekend and let that take you forward in your tech journey. What's your tip, Jen?
Okay, so my tip is really just to try to be present throughout the whole weekend. So I know it's a really busy time at school. You probably have midterms, you probably have projects, and although it is very tempting to work on those at Technica, I think if you focus on something new and focus on trying to gain either a new skill, go to a new workshop, or maybe create a project for the first time, you're going to look back on the weekend and you're going to say, wow, I really did that. That was so worth it. I did this freshman year, and yeah, I put off my homework for the weekend, but I did not regret it. So really try to make the most of your time here, because this is the best nerd party of the year, and it only happens once. All right, so with that, I'm so excited to introduce our keynote speaker for our opening ceremony. We have Elaine Montilla here today. She is the CTO at Pearson, and she is a TEDx speaker. So can everyone give Elaine a round of applause?
Did you notice me dancing up to the stage? I hope you did. Thank you, Jen. Thank you so much. Oh, now you can hear me. Thank you to everyone back there. I wanted to tell you, Jen, that my brother also was the person who encouraged me to go into tech. And I love ending a keynote presentation with a round of applause. But in this case, I think we should start it with a round of applause for each one of you. So thank you for being here today. And you will notice that I have my piece of paper here, because what I want to share with you is so important, I do not want to forget. So you will see me looking at it every once in a while. I'm Elaine Montilla. I am currently serving as the Chief Technology Officer, the CTO for School Assessment at Pearson. I'm fairly new in that title. I started 2 months ago. That's it, just 2 months ago. Thank you. It has been quite a ride. I went from managing a team of 70 to managing a group of over 400 people today. And I'm very passionate about technology. Before coming to Pearson, I want you to know that I was the CIO, Chief Information Officer, at the CUNY Graduate Center. I live in New York, and I am very passionate about technology. I love everything I do today. I love the work that I'm doing, the people that I'm working with, but it was not always that way. So I want to rewind a little bit and bring you back to 1996, which is the year where I came to this country. You see, I was born and raised in a tiny island called the Dominican Republic. If anyone here is Dominican, raise your hand. Woo, yes, one. I love it, one. And when I came into New York. I was 17 years old, and I did not speak a word of English. And that was only the beginning of all the challenges that I faced. Can you imagine right now, close your eyes, transport yourself to a new country with a language that you don't understand? That's what I went through. That's what I was facing. And so I want to share a few of the challenges and ways that I found to overcome some of them. And language was just the beginning. I also felt like I got a new identity. You see, for the first 17 years of my life, my name was Elaine. I had no idea that my name in English sounded differently. So no joke, my first week in college, I was absent every day, the whole week. The professor would call Elaine, and people would look around, and I would look around. I'm like, who are they calling? I had no idea that my name was Elaine. So imagine if I tell you, from today on, you're Mary. That's how I felt. I felt like this country not only gave me amazing opportunities, but it gave me a new identity. And back then, I did not know that I could challenge that. I have a few friends today who force people to pronounce their names. And so it's been so many years that I will not force you to say Elaine. Only my mom calls me Elaine today. But back then, it was very difficult for me. One of the challenges that came with that is that because I came from an island, and when I decided to go into tech, I noticed that no one looked like me. By the way, I love the diversity in this room right now. I wish I had that when I came into this country. And I want you to know that you're so lucky that Technica exists today. Please don't take it for granted. And so I wanted to fit in. I wanted to belong. And I didn't know how to do that. And what happened is that I had some habits that have taken me years to let go of. The first one is I became a people pleaser. And if you don't know if you're a people pleaser, let me tell you, if you don't know how to say no, if you're always apologizing and saying I'm sorry, you're a people pleaser. And that was me. I wanted to say yes to everyone because I wanted to make sure that everyone liked me. Have you felt that ever? Like, I want to be liked. I just want everyone to like me. And it was hurting my career. I actually went through burnout because I was saying yes to everything everybody was saying. And so how did I get over that? The first thing is I slowly started replacing I'm sorry with thank you. Please write it down. Whenever I go into a meeting, if I'm 2 minutes late, this was me before, oh my God, I'm sorry. Oh my God, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I walk into a meeting today and I said, oh, thank you so much for waiting. Let's get started, right? Another one is when people would be talking to me and I feel like I'm talking too much, I'll be like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm talking so much. Now I say, thank you so much for listening to me. I really appreciate your attention. So practice that a little bit. The second thing that I did is I started slowly to say no to little things. Slowly. It's not easy. I started saying no because no is a complete sentence. You don't need to say anything after you say no. No, because you know there's a, no, no, thank you. Not right now, thank you. So that was my first struggle. The second one is this thing that is called imposter syndrome. Now, there is a lot of debate about imposter syndrome. Does it exist? Did someone create it to oppress women? I have no idea. I don't know. I'm not an expert. What I can tell you is that I felt it. I went through it. And if you don't know what imposter syndrome is, it's a little voice in your head that is always telling you you're not good enough. Who do you think you are? It's this thought of, I'm a fraud, and somebody's going to find out one day. I can tell you every single time I got promoted, and I started at CUNY as a help desk supervisor. I got promoted to manager, director, acting CIO, and CIO. Every single time I got promoted, I got imposter syndrome back, and the voice in my head would say, oh my God, they don't know what they just did. They're going to find out that I don't know as much as they think I know. And it was not true. But you will face that. You will go through that. And so I want to tell you how I got over imposter syndrome. And by the way, it doesn't go away 100%. When I got promoted now to CTO, it came to pay a visit, but I have tools now that I use to get rid of it. So the first thing that I did is I got me a therapist. Yes, yes, let's clap for that. I want you to know that your mental health is the most important thing that you have. And we need to remove the stigma of having a therapist because I feel every person should have a therapist. I mean, we should assign a therapist from the moment you're born. Here, this one is yours, take it. So I love my therapist, and through many conversations, I learned that the thoughts in my head were not real, that it was not true. And I want to share with you what I do now to move imposter syndrome to the corner. And I hope all of you start doing it starting today. I have a document. I call it collect evidence. Some people call it a brag sheet. You can call it anything you want. I have a document where I write down every single one of my accomplishments. I have it for over 10 years. If I open the document right now, you would see deliver my first TEDx talk. If you look at it next week, it would say deliver the opening keynote to Technica 2022. I write down, it's by the year and by the month, everything that I complete, every accomplishment. By the way, when you go into the workplace, if you haven't, you would have what's called an annual review. This document will help you because you will have a list already to give to your manager. You're not going to wait for them to tell you, well, let's go over this past year. No, let me tell you what I did this past year and why I deserve a raise, right? And so I have this document, and whenever I feel imposter syndrome coming, I open the document. and I go through it, and I read, bless you, and I go through it, and I read everything that I've accomplished. And it reminds me what a badass I am, right? Because you need reminders. Nobody's gonna come around and say, Elaine, you're amazing. I just wanna tell you today. I tell myself that every day. I look at myself in the mirror when I'm brushing my teeth, I'm like, Elaine, you're yesterday, you're really out of the park. So the third one, the struggle that I went through is I had a huge fear of failing. I had a huge fear of making mistakes. I call myself a recovering perfectionist. And if you go to 5xminority.com, you will see that I wrote an article about that, being a recovering perfectionist, because sometimes it wants to come back. And so what I learned over the years is that if I did not make any mistake, I would not be standing here today in front of you. There is no way, because the lessons that come from the mistake is what helps you grow and go to the next level. So whenever that fear comes and whenever I make a mistake, the first question that I ask myself, that I want you to ask yourself, because you will make mistakes. You know why? Because you're a human being. You're an imperfect human being. We all are, right? And so the first question that I ask myself is, what is this here to teach me? What is this here to teach me? Everything that happens in your life is here with a lesson. And so if you focus on the mistake, you will stay there. But if you focus on the lesson, you will grow and you will move forward. And like I mentioned before, I love working in tech. It has been a struggle. And my hope today is that the things that help me go through it will help you now, because I'm gonna give them to you. I've worked in tech for over 20 years, and I've been through a lot of discrimination. I had a very strong accent, and I can tell you that I spent many years feeling extremely ashamed of my accent. I love it today. It's mine. But I used to hate it. I used to hate it because when I would speak, people would stare at my lips so that they can understand the words coming out of my mouth, and that stayed in my mind. And you know what happened to me? I would go to meetings, and I was translating in my head from Spanish to English, and people would be so impatient that they would not let me finish my sentences. And so what did that do to me? It shut me down. I stopped contributing for a long time because I didn't know what to do. Also because I was a perfectionist, so I wanted to have the perfect sentence. And if you speak another language, you will know that sometimes when you're learning a new language, you have a whole sentence, but if there is one word that you don't know how to say in English, you cannot say anything. And so I was quiet for many years because of that. And so I want to share with you the 3 biggest lessons that I've had during my 20 plus years working in a male-dominated environment. And if you did not know, it is still that way today. We have made progress, but very little. And the higher you go, the less Elaines that you're gonna find. I go to conferences and people look at my badge, and if it says CIO or CTO, people stop me and say, my gosh, you're a Latina. How did you do it? How did you do it? This is impossible. This doesn't happen. But it is possible for each one of you because you're here today. And I'm gonna share my 3 biggest lessons with you. Lesson number 1 that I learned during this journey, and this is a difficult one, but I know that once you get comfortable with it, you will see how much you can get from it. First lesson, you must learn to be comfortable being uncomfortable. No choice. You have to learn being comfortable, being uncomfortable. We're talking about reaching new heights today, right? You need this lesson if you want to reach new heights. You have to learn to be comfortable being uncomfortable. Public speaking, you're watching me today, I used to hate it. The first time I was asked to do something in public in front of a lot of people, I couldn't sleep for 3 days thinking about it. And the morning of, I couldn't eat, I couldn't drink, nothing would pass down my throat. But you know what? I decided that instead of seeing it as an obstacle, what if I see it as a challenge? What if you change what's in front of you and you flip it and see it as a challenge? And so what I did is I joined a group. It's called Toastmasters. I don't know if you have a Toastmasters here. Yes, yes, I love them. They changed my life. And so I learned that the fear that I was feeling carry a message, right? And if you think that I was not nervous before I came up here, you're wrong. I was. Because that feeling doesn't go away. You learn to move with it. You learn to carry it with you. And so when people will speak over me at meetings, and I hope you don't go through this, it took a lot of courage for me to be uncomfortable and say, I'm sorry, I'm not finished. I would love to hear what you have to say, but I'm not finished. And then I'll just keep talking. And I had to do that over and over again until people got the message. By the way, if somebody's interrupting you at a meeting, a quick tip is the first thing you do is say their name. If somebody interrupts you and you say, wait, I'm sorry, nobody's listening. They don't listen. But if you say their name first, now they know everybody heard their name, they would stop. And so you say, John, I'm sorry, John, I always use that name. John, I hear you and I would love to hear what you have to say, but I need to finish, let me finish. And the same thing happens when you go to a room where you don't feel welcome. I've been in this room so many times, and I used to shrink myself. I used to make myself smaller because I wanted to fit in, because I was different, because I was the only one, right? And now, like I said earlier, I see it as an advantage. I make myself bigger. To me, if I'm the only female in the room, that is an advantage, and I'm going to use it. If I'm the only person, leader in the room, that is an advantage, and I'm going to use it. And so I hope you remember that one lesson. The second one, and we were talking earlier about being curious, right? I have a sign at my door, and it says, don't believe everything you think. Now, I'm still working on this one. It's not easy, but what I want you to know is that we, all of us, have been raised with a lot of conditioned thinking, right? There are a lot of things that you heard from your parents, from school, from television, from commercials, from TV shows. I mean, we're being bombarded with messages every day. Society tries to tell you what to do all the time. And what I learned is that I am going through a process of unlearning all of that. When someone says something to you, just because they said it, it doesn't make it true. When you have a thought, just because you had a thought, it doesn't mean that it is true, right? So what I want to ask you today, if you can, is to not only observe your thoughts, right? Because a lot of them came from 20 years ago and you never questioned it, right? I want you to question your thoughts. Is it true? Is it true that that person doesn't like me? What is the evidence that I have of that? But we are so busy, especially if you have so much homework, like I'm sure you do. We are so busy that we're just going next, the next thing. What's the next thing? What's the next thing? Mindfulness is a skill that I've practiced for now, I'm going to say maybe 9 or 10 years. You have to learn how to pause. You have to learn how to stop and question yourself and question your thoughts. And that is something that you don't only do with yourself, but you do it with others. A few years after I came into this country, I learned, because it's a process of learning, that I was lesbian. I was a member of the LGBTQ community. And when I told my mom did not take it well, right? And one of the ways that I helped her get through it was by asking her questions. I was not telling her, how dare you say that? I was saying, really? Let me ask you this question. So do you think that I, X, Y, and Z? Think about it, right? Because also my mom, it was not her fault. She learned what her parents told her, just like I learned what she told me. And now I question a lot of the things that my mom tells me. And I love her to death, but she knows that. She knows that there is a lot of, so we different people feel different things, and not everyone has the, advantage that I have. But I became a new person that day. A new person that was the same person that was outside of the workplace, but now that person came in fully in the workplace. I didn't have to hide. I didn't have to be someone else. And so before I leave today, I want to leave you with this. Pretending to be someone else is freaking exhausting. It is exhausting, and it takes so much energy. I used to walk into rooms and like a chameleon, I would switch to be like the people in the room. Because I wanted to be like them, because I wanted them to like me, without understanding that the advantage that I had was my authenticity. I bring myself to the room and I change the room. The room doesn't change me. Don't let any room change you. You are here to change the room. You are here to do something better with your life than the people behind you, right? And I give credit to all the people behind me that opened the doors for me to be here today, standing in front of you. And so while you're here during this weekend, I want you to have fun. I want you to be yourself. And I want you to know that to reach new heights, you have to bring your whole self everywhere you go and not worry so much about what other people are thinking. Because you will learn that you could never change other people and you can never change the way they are. You can only change yourself. And there's already a lot going on in the world for you to give yourself more stress. So please, be yourself. And thank you for this opportunity. I hope you have fun. I hope you wrote down some of the lessons. And that is the microphone saying, we are done today, okay? Gracias. Thank you.
Okay. Testing.
Hello?
Alrighty, so thank you so much, Elaine. That was so inspiring. And now we want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors, but before we do that, we do want to keep mindful of time. We have workshops starting at 1 p.m. So if you were planning to go to any of those workshops, please make sure you get there on time. The rest of this ceremony will be recorded, so you can definitely catch it later. Okay. So the first sponsor we want to thank is, of course, the UMDCS department. They support us in more ways than one, monetarily as well as logistically. So if you are here and you're in high school and you're thinking about maybe applying to UMDCS, definitely check out these links. And we also have a workshop happening today in the computer science building. So if you're interested in seeing what that looks like and maybe learning how to 3D print or laser cut, you should definitely go to that workshop.
We also want to thank the A. James Clark School of Engineering for their continued support of this event and of underrepresented genders in STEM in general. They support us monetarily as well as logistically, and we are just ever so grateful for their support. And with that, we want to thank our premium sponsored Cisco Talos with this video.
Hey everyone, my name is Amy Seaman and I work for Cisco Talos. I am their lead of employee experience and I work on educational partnerships and educational outreach. At Cisco Talos, we aim to foster a culture of belonging that embraces each of our team members' unique identities and experiences. Cisco wants to be the bridge to a more inclusive future for all. We chose to support Technica because we believe in learning through doing and not being afraid to try something new. We want to support all the students this weekend in reaching their goals and finding a space inside of tech and cybersecurity where their passions and curious minds can blossom. This weekend, we invite you to come and try something new with us at our workshop with Kelly and learn more about IoT Go and how to hack a vulnerable router. You will learn the fundamentals of vulnerability analysis on internet-connected devices. And please stop by our virtual booth and see us and chat with us about careers in tech and in cybersecurity. We greatly look forward to seeing your hacks on Sunday, and we hope that you submit for our prize category, the Best Inclusive Future Hack, where we invite you to bring an inclusive future into reality. Thank you. Have a wonderful weekend, hackers, and we look forward to seeing what you build.
Hi, good afternoon. Can everyone hear me? All right, I only have a quick minute, but I want to first introduce myself. My name is Mae Brown. I'm from Bank of America. I'm actually in the Global Information Security team based out of Washington, D.C. Just for everybody, for a quick second, raise your hand if you are a client of bank. Do you keep your money in a bank? You bank. Can I see a raise? Yeah. For those of you who have your hands raised, how important is it that your money and your data is protected at your bank? Right? Very important, right? Perfect. So I wanted to quickly highlight our cybersecurity team. We are a super diverse team, 2,500 teammates across 18 different countries. We're protecting client data, your data, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So we're a proud sponsor of Technica because we believe in further breaking gender barriers and building a diverse workforce. We work every day to move the needle on hiring and advancing women technologists, and we believe that the innovation and the innovative thought really helps us be a stronger team. So I know I've talked to a lot of you, and I hope you stop by our booth, but how many of you have been to Grace Hopper? Quite a few people, right? So we are a big supporter of Grace Hopper, Anita B, Girls Who Code. Any
Girls Who Code members in here? A lot. I've met you too. Welcome. We have several of our cybersecurity experts here today, including me.
We are hosting a Capture the Flag workshop in the Terrapin Room, I believe, Salon 1. I think it starts right now, so head on over to that. It's going to be a lot of fun. And we just want to welcome you. So definitely stop by our booth. We have internships. We are actively hiring for internships. We have a cyber rotational program, and we would love to speak with you. And again, my name is Mae Brown. Come by, chit chat, let's connect on LinkedIn, and I hope you guys have a great time. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ashley Bell. I am the Early Talent Recruiter and Campus Relationship Manager at T. Rowe Price. So T. Rowe Price is an asset management firm, and you're probably wondering what is an asset management firm doing at a Technica event. We are deep-rooted in rigorous research, and we're always looking for ways to be innovative and competitive within our industry, which is why we need technology. So we are actively supporting and promoting our internship opportunities within data science, infrastructure operations, cybersecurity, and software engineering. If any of those are of interest to you, definitely stop by our booth. We're also hosting a prize category in FinTech, the best use of FinTech, so definitely look forward to submitting those projects. Thank you.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Linda Tai. I'm the Chief Technology Officer at Fannie Mae. So Fannie Mae, anybody heard about Fannie Mae? Oh yes, wonderful, wonderful. So if you're living at home or you rent a place, Fannie Mae has a lot of things to do with you. So I'm very excited to be here today. And actually, I live in New York City, but I stay in the DC area just for this event because I was told there's so many hackers here want to participate in the competition. And I'm so privileged to be here to see so many of them here in one room. This is really exciting. So Fannie Mae's, actually Technica is the greatest opportunity for the people like you who enjoy coding to sharpen your skill set and being challenged and have a lot of fun. Fannie Mae, we are very passionate for innovation and bring curiosity to work, and also find the best solutions for most difficult problems. We are the true sponsor and committed to support women and underrepresented genders to reach their highest goal in the technology field. So we also really prioritized the diversity of thoughts, because we believe that we can build the most sustainable products regardless what kind of background you're coming from. Then we also really value the different perspectives of our engineers. Then we can have everybody to use our products and more sustainable and usable. And we really encourage our tech team to use the technology to create new opportunities to make our housing market more accessible and sustainable for the homeowners and the renters. So lastly, I want to say that we have a prize about $125 for the first winning team for each other person in the team, and also $75 for the second winner in the team. We also have a lot of great programs here. We have a Technica technical talk by one of the most forward-thinking tech leaders, Michael Lee. And also please visit our booth. Our booth is right outside there. Talk to our recruiters to find out all the wonderful opportunities in Fannie Mae. So the goal of Fannie Mae, our mission is to make our homeowners, having a home is a dream of all the Americas, right? A lot of Americas. So our goal is to make housing accessible and sustainable for the Americas. So please join for our mission. Thank you very much.
Hi, my name's Colleen. I'm an engineering manager with Remitly. Remitly is a fintech company that aims to provide money sending, banking, and other financial services mainly for immigrants or other financially underserved communities. We're super excited to be here. We're sponsoring a category that is a best hack for immigrants or international students, and really excited to see what you come up with. I'll also be at the Technica chat later, and also giving a tech talk with a senior engineer, Laura Sheptak. We'll be talking about CI/CD, TDD, and empathy, and how you can use those things to build great software. And we will definitely explain all the acronyms while we're there. So we are excited to see you hack, see you at our booth or our talk, and hope you have a lot of fun and learn a lot. Thanks.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Linda Patterson, Director of Technology Training at GenSpark. A huge thanks to our Technica partners for the opportunity to participate in this exciting hackathon weekend, a think tank with top organizations and IT enthusiasts as yourself. Our partnership with Technica helps ignite the passion of underrepresented individuals desiring IT careers. Today, you don't want to miss participation in our educational software hackathon, in which first prize is an Oculus virtual reality headset. Our workshop with Senior Training Manager Jacob Goodson promises to not disappoint as he talks about sparking technology skills through gamification. Our virtual mentors are ready to answer your questions and provide guidance. Please stop by our booth, chat with GenSpark recruiters, discuss your IT interests, and grab more goodies. My IT career started by learning assembler language, and my first computer was a Commodore 64. Technology has exploded since then, and your generation knows no boundaries. Take these 2 days, please, to learn how you can help to advance technology make it fun for the world, and spark your career in IT. Thank you, and GenSpark looks forward to working with you this weekend.
Hi, I'm Mike Hicks. I'm a senior principal scientist at Amazon Web Services. For 20 years, I was a professor at the University of Maryland. I guess I still am. I'm on leave. And I'm really happy to, thank you, to welcome you here. It's really inspiring to see so many women and underrepresented genders here hacking away. I'm super excited to work with you today. I have a workshop at 3:15 to tell you about stuff I'm doing at Amazon called Automated Reasoning. I hope you'll come and check it out. I'll be in the mentor area, so I'm happy to talk with you there. We also have a booth where we are happy to connect with you about careers at Amazon and Amazon Web Services and also internships. So I hope you have a fantastic weekend, and I'll see you around.
Hi everyone, my name is Caitlin Usciano. I am a technical recruiter at Paramount. We're a global media and entertainment company. I am accompanied by two of our software engineers who helped create our Paramount Plus apps. We are so excited to be here and be sponsors. So in the words of our CEO, Bob Backish, we strive to make diversity, equity, and inclusion part of who we are, etched into the fabric of our workforce and culture, seen in the content we create and the partners we work with, and always reflecting the audience and communities we serve. We encourage you all to stop by our booth. We have two of our software engineers there. They're mentors. They're excited to help you with all of your projects. And thank you so much for having us.
Hello, Technica. How's everybody doing out there? All right. Yeah. Awesome. Hey, my name is T.S. Malik. I'm here with Katie Keegan. We're representing AFCEA. AFCEA is a nonprofit organization that basically fosters thought and dialogue between the federal government and industry on challenges around IT. So Katie and I, much like Jules and Jen, have been busy organizing this event. We're really, really busy organizing our summit on November the 3rd. And so we represent the AFCEA Energy, Infrastructure, and the Environment subchapter of AFCEA. And we're going to be bringing together individuals from across government to come in and talk to us and share what's going on around critical infrastructure, around energy resilience, and all the stuff that matters to you, that keeps the light on, that keeps, obviously, your homes and your computers powered, and also, obviously, your electric vehicles. And we're also talking about, obviously, greenhouse gas emissions and really how does technology interface with all of these areas. So just one key thing for me, I just want to talk about Technica here for a second. It's really near and dear to my heart. Actually, I was introduced to Technica about 5 years ago through my daughter Fatima, who was actually an alumni of Maryland and the computer science program, and one of the directors of Technica. And you know, being a minority myself and having 3 daughters, you know, I felt that, you know, this was a great organization to support and to get behind. And so I'm here today with Katie, and we will be making some sort of a gift to Technica. So Katie, you want to tell us a little bit more about that?
Hi everyone, I'm Katie Keegan. I am the Vice President of EIE for AFCEA Bethesda. And as a woman who accidentally created a 20-year career in tech, I am really grateful and passionate to, you know, work with organizations such as Technica that open up a window to that world for our youth, something we didn't have growing up. So when TS, you know, thanks to Fatima, brought this organization to our attention, it was a unanimous vote by our board of directors to support Technica. So it is my pleasure to present Jules and Julie with this check for $5,000 to Technica. Congratulations, everybody.
Wow, thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. All right, I want to say thank you again to AFCA. Without our sponsors and donors, Technica wouldn't be possible. So we are so grateful for this donation. And with that, I want to invite our MLH reps up to the stage. They're going to teach you about all the different fun things going on this weekend and some key things you need to know if you are planning to demo or do a hack.
Hi everyone, hello. Hi Josh, okay. So hi everyone, my name is Fazia. I'm a coach at Major League Hacking by weekend, but I'm a software engineer during the week. And Technica is my 42nd coach hackathon, which is kind of crazy to think about, but it was the very first hackathon I ever came to, so that's full circle. Anyway, I'm here with Lavi, say hi. And so if you see any of us and you have any questions about anything we have to offer this weekend, just find us and we can help you. So if this is your first ever event or like you've been coming to a lot of hackathons, you can always head to hack.mlh.io and then you can find literally everything I'm about to talk about right now. But also, I'm going to post it on Slack, so you don't have to remember anything. You can just fly through your year. If you're not already on Slack, what are you doing and how are you here? Go on Slack so you can be able to find things that are happening this weekend and get reminders and announcements so you can reach out to people easily. It's a really great resource for you to be hacking with this weekend. Meanwhile, what is Major League Hacking? So Major League Hacking is a global hacker community. All of you, by being here and participating in this event, you're part of a community of literally 500,000 plus hackers all over the world. This is crazy. And by being a part of this event, you're winning points for your school and your community and your clubs. And at the end of the season, you get access to prizes for that. So one of the events that's happening that you can also win more points for your community for is Global Hack Week. So go register for the next Global Hack Week at ghw.mlh.io. And it's global and virtual. So like Jen said, what are we going to be doing this weekend? So we're here to support you at this event. First and foremost, we have shirts, we have prizes, we have cool stuff for you. Our job is to literally support every single hacker in this room. And we also have great opportunities for you to take breaks this weekend. So if you come to the slideshow karaoke, that's happening right here. So this is the main stage at 3:30 p.m. today. And we're going to have it on Zoom too. So if you can hear me, you can also come participate there too. And it's going to be slideshow karaoke. And then we're also going to be having another thing right after it at 4:15 p.m., which is also going to be on Zoom. So it's like MS Paint Bob Ross. Either opportunity that you want to just take a break from hacking, kind of chill, get some just time off with other hackers, you can join either one. It doesn't matter. And so this is actually not a surprise. It's like a reveal. So 2022 and 2023 season T-shirts. If you don't already have one, come find us. We have so many boxes and we have to get rid of them. If you have an aunt or an uncle or a sister or a grandma, come get a shirt for them. I mean it. So I've talked about all the cool resources that we have for you. Now I want to talk about some of the prizes that you can win by being here. So if you build a hack that's centered on sustainability, you can win some really cool Lego sets from Avanade. And if you want to get started with your hack, just go to hackpack/Avanade. You can also use CockroachDB, which is basically like a database that you can use for your project. And you can get started for free and make as many clusters as you want. And if you use CockroachDB in your hack this weekend, you get a free shirt as well. So if you want a shirt, use CockroachDB in your project. And then if you also want a free .tech domain with 1 year of privacy, just use the code HAUNTEDHack. Again, this will all be on Slack, so you don't have to remember it. But if you want to get a free domain for your project, just use that code. Another cool thing that you can use for your project is Hedera. If you use it in your hack for free this weekend and your project stands out, you get to win a keyboard. So that's kind of cool. And then if you also use the Twilio API in your project, which you can use for free because you get a $50 trial, you can basically collect SMS and messaging to people. So if you're doing anything that involves that and you're like, wait, how do I start? Where do I go from there? We have you covered. So just go on there and take a look at it. If you have any questions, let us know as well. And then we also have hardware. We literally have 2 containers full of hardware. If you are building anything that has to do with hardware, come find us. Again, if you want to work with hardware and you're like, wait, I don't know where to start, come find us. And they're yours to keep too. So you get to have it forever. Okay. And then, if you want to see any of those prizes again, just check on Dev Post, and I'm going to put it on Slack as well. All right, so now, if you also show off your hack, I know everybody has been saying this, but I really do encourage you to submit something. Even if you feel like, oh, it's not very good, blah, 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 whatever, just submit. You literally never know. And you get a free item of sticker. And so thank you to all of the people who you can get jobs from as well. If you, by being a part of like a Major League Hacking event, just go to hackpack/careers. And the fellowship. If you don't already have an internship for the summer, for the spring, for the fall, because it happens literally 3 times a year, by being a part of an MLH event, you can get access to the MLH fellowship, which basically allows you to write code for other companies, but also get paid. So definitely go on there and apply. If you have questions, reach out to us. But you really want to secure your bag, so go apply. And now, on a serious note, Major League Hacking hackathons are a safe space for everyone. Please make sure that you read the code of conduct. If you didn't, the summary is that our events are a safe space for everyone. Harassment and abuse are not tolerated at all. If at any point you feel uncomfortable, find somebody. Find somebody and we will take care of you. Please let us know. And if you are not able to find somebody, use the email on the screen. Again, this is going to be on Slack. You can find it there. But yeah. And so thank you again to all of our partners, and happy hacking. I'm so excited to see what you all come up with. Again, we have hardware. Please come find us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Fazia. We want to thank again all of our speakers this weekend, mentors, volunteers, and our lovely organizing team for making this entire weekend and experience happen. Here's some finer reminders for the weekend. One thing to note is that the check-in desk out front has now become our help desk. So if you're ever not able to find an organizer wearing this black shirt, or you're just not sure where to go, check out that desk and someone can definitely help you. Happy hacking, everyone. Woo. Now we'll be handing it off to our events team to talk about Technica 101.
Hi everyone. Before we get started, I just want to do a quick announcement. So this quick little slide deck, Technica 101, is really geared towards first-time hackers, beginner hackers. So if you're, kind of a seasoned veteran at the hackathon thing, feel free to tune out me and Karina. If you're a little bit more new to Technica or hackathons, we're going to have a lot of really helpful information. I also wanted to give a mention that we still do have workshops running all day from 1 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. in the workshops rooms downstairs. So if you see an interesting workshop you want to attend, feel free to get up and go and check them out. Our next rounds of workshops should be starting actually at 1:45, so just in a little bit. But without further ado, Technica 101. So for today's agenda, we're going to go over some hackathon logistics, specifically for those of you who are in our beginner track, some special highlight features about being in that track, logistics on specifically hacking, and some friendly tips. So you're probably thinking, who are these people up here talking? So I'll introduce myself first. My name is Nandini. I'm a senior computer science major at the University of Maryland, and I'm also one of the co-directors on the events team.
She's one of the best directors. My name is Karina. I am an events organizer as well.
And so we are part of the events team. So before we kind of get into some logistics, just some friendly photos about what Technica's looked like in the past and about all the different fun and opportunities that you're going to have this weekend. And we are so, so excited for each and every one of you to participate.
So we'll kick it off with some hackathon logistics. What is a hackathon? Show of hands, who's first time hackathon? Ooh, lots of hands. Welcome, welcome. So maybe you're not 100% sure. Maybe a friend told you to sign up or someone in class told you. hackathon is just a time for you to explore, create a project that you're really interested in, something for fun, so not in class, and just really get through that process on your own. So, well, not entirely on your own, because we have a lot of resources and opportunities available for you, which we'll get into a little bit, but really we hope you just have fun this weekend.
Okay, so what can I do during Technica? We have a ton of awesome events that you can be able to check out if you go to the gotechnica.org/schedule website. But just to highlight a few things, like I said in the beginning, we have tons of absolutely amazing workshops, some being led by some of our amazing sponsors, some being led by people from the University of Maryland or from other interesting companies, with a wide range of topics from machine learning to career advice to UI UX, programming, and all these other really amazing miscellaneous fields. There's even an intro to ASL happening later today, which I think is pretty awesome. We also have a ton of fun mini events. So to break it up from the coding and all the education going on, we're going to have a lot of fun with some open mic night, glow party, and if you're feeling like I don't really have a team, I want to kind of find one, we'll be having team formation soon as well.
Some of the other opportunities we have available, you heard from some of our sponsors earlier. We'll have sponsor fair later. Outside, you might have seen that when you were checking in. It's your opportunity to really ask sponsors, their company representatives, so just ask them questions. If you're interested, ask them if they have internships or job opportunities if you want to work with them, and just ask them how it is working there. Expose your opportunity to demo the hack that you create this weekend, and also see how what other people did. There are a lot of really, really cool things that go on that people make, so your opportunity to present and also check out other people's work. And swag, there's a Technica shop if you attend workshops, but there's also some other swag that we'll be distributing throughout the week, so keep an eye out on Slack for that.
All right, so a quick who is who and what's kind of going on this weekend. So we've got a lot of amazing mentors that will be walking around with these blue name tags. They'll be, if you're a mentor in the room, maybe you can kind of wave your hand too, kind of indicating who you are. Awesome. So their job is to help you with your code and your project. So whether that's, oh my gosh, this bug is just not working, I don't know why my code won't compile, to, hey, I don't even know where to begin, but I kind of have this cool idea, maybe you have some advice for me. All those conversations our lovely mentors will be there to help you with. We've also got some volunteers that we're really grateful for. They're walking around in these navy blue Technica shirts. They'll be kind of helping with more of the logistical side of things, so feel free to reach out to them as well. We've got our sponsors, which are happening in the sponsorship fair right outside for you to talk to about different opportunities and kind of learn more about the ways computer science is being applied. And lastly, you've got your fun and friendly organizers like myself and Karina. We're wearing these long sleeve black t-shirts with Technica on them, and we're here to help you with any logistics problems that might come up during the weekend.
All right, so we'll talk a little bit about the beginner track in case you're still not 100% clear on that. It's basically just, excuse me, sorry. It's basically just an opportunity for you all to follow along on some exclusive workshops we have for beginner track if you're not sure where to start. So we have a couple things to help you along there, but also just create a support system. So answering questions for those of you who maybe this is your first time coding on your own, or this is your first time exploring something. Don't be afraid to ask questions. We have a couple avenues for you to do that, including asking the people like mentors and organizers, but we do have a couple workshops.
Yeah, so we have a bunch of beginner track specific workshops. So for the general audience, these workshops listed up here are exclusive to the beginner track. For beginner track people, these workshops are for you. So as y'all should have known, we had our setting up environment workshop happening in the early October. The recording is available if you check the Slack. We have resources for that. We also have our intro to web dev design, which happened last week. We're doing a smaller repeat version for people who couldn't attend or kind of need a second round of it. And that'll be followed actually by a working session that will happen on the main floor. So we'll have a lot of our mentors and organizers helping, making sure after that workshop, following up with you all, helping you all out with that. And then the last workshop of the day that we have specifically for the beginner track is our Developing a Demo Day website, which will be an amazing opportunity around 5 p.m. to kind of take your website to the next level. So be sure to be checking these out and making sure you attend if you're on the beginner track. And again, any workshop in general, beginner track, startup track, any track, not a track, will be available on the gotechnica.org schedule, so please be checking that out all weekend.
Hacking logistics. So this is just, we'll talk a little bit about the process of hacking, starting with team formation. We have a team formation event later today after this, but it's just, you know, find some friends, make some new friends, and share the work so you don't have to do this alone.
Okay, so generating new ideas, just don't be afraid to dive into a problem. A lot of really creative, wacky ideas that maybe you don't think are super applicable tend to become some of these multi-billion-dollar ideas that we see today. So just don't be afraid to think about any problem you could think of and find a solution for it. And it doesn't need to be picture perfect. Remember, it's only a 24-hour hackathon, so anything you can get done in 24 hours is really impressive. And you can set goals too as well, right? So you can look at what skills you want to focus on. Maybe there's a workshop that might help develop them. For example, I like machine learning. Maybe I'll go and check out some machine learning-based workshops, things like that. And don't forget to challenge yourself. At the end of the day, this is supposed to be a really safe space for you all to learn something new. And we have all these amazing mentors and volunteers here to help you out and learn something. So make some goals. What do you want to get out of Technica? It's completely an experience that you get to decide. So when it comes to your project, don't forget that you have your team. You can communicate with each other on who should do what. So for example, maybe you want to kind of, take a project and split it up amongst each other to get things done. Make sure you're working with your team and collaborating. We've got tons of different platforms that you can use. You can even use some open source code. Don't feel like you need to reinvent the wheel. It's all about your creativity and how you can apply it to make things to come up with a solution that you think is best.
So the theme here is just learning. This is really a space to ask questions and don't be afraid to try something new and maybe even fail a little bit. That's what we're all here for, to support you. And definitely check out our workshops for further support.
And again, just really want to emphasize this idea of making sure you use your resources. We want you to feel free to reach out and interact with sponsors if that's something you're really interested in learning. Attend all these amazing workshops to really elevate your ideas and kind of explore some new ideas that you've never maybe thought of. And again, please use our mentors and volunteers to your advantage. They're here to help you. They want to help you. They're super excited to help you. So do not be afraid to ask for help. And of course, you can always post questions in the Slack as well.
Okay. Submitting your project. So hacking closes officially at 11 tomorrow, so show off your work. Even if it's not perfect, that's okay. You had one day, a little bit more maybe, and we just want to see where you're at, what your progress looks like. So officially to submit your project, you have to submit it on DevPost. If you've never submitted before or you want a refresher, we do have a workshop tomorrow morning called How to Submit Your Hack, where we'll go over how to do that. And demo. This is, again, just your time to go to Expo and speak to the judges, explain what you did, what worked, what didn't. It's okay if it's not perfect. It's okay if not everything works. That's your time to talk to someone about that and really just show off your work and take ownership of what you've done. So just have fun, highlight what you've done and what you really enjoyed about it.
Okay, and just some tips again for some first-time hackers. Making sure you're attending those mini events, enjoying and socializing with other people, get to know the Technique community. There's so many amazing friendships waiting to be started. Don't forget to get some sleep and stay hydrated. It is a 24-hour event. Making sure you're taking care of your physical and mental health should also be a priority throughout this weekend. And there is a wonderful hacker guide that you can access through the URL here. It's also been posted in the Slack. And just like I said earlier, make sure you're using that Slack if you have any logistical questions.
Throughout the weekend, we'll be posting on social media, and if you want to be on it, tag us.
Well, that's all we have for you all. Like we said, please make sure you're talking to our mentors and volunteers if you have any questions and reaching out to organizers or in the Slack. But other than that, happy hacking, everyone.